Hi, I'm Lena, and if you looked at me and thought I was a typical 16-year-old girl dreaming of cute dresses, manicures, and romantic dates under the stars, then you were very wrong. I was better at taking apart engines than I was putting on makeup. Seriously, while the other girls in my class were watching TikToks, I spent entire evenings fiddling with Dad's old Mustang. I also loved hunting. Yeah, I know, not a very girly hobby, but I didn't care. Mom did, however. Lena, you're a girl. Wear a skirt for once. Mom, how would I climb under a car in a skirt? She just rolled her eyes. At school, everyone thought I was weird. The garage kid. But I didn't mind. Who cared what they thought? I didn't have to be glamorous. But one day, everything changed. It was an ordinary day. I was sitting in class when I realized that someone was watching me. And not just someone, but the rich kids. Everything about them was perfect. They were oozing confidence, swimming in money, wearing branded clothes and shiny watches. One of them, Alan, the most handsome boy at school, wouldn't stop staring at me. At recess, he came up to me in the hallway and said,
"Hey, Lena, could you help me with algebra? I'm having trouble with it."
He stood there, smiling. I thought, okay, I'll help. We went to the library, and I explained some formulas to him. He seemed to be listening, but kept looking at me too intently. And the next day, bam, I ran into Alan after school by accident. He asked me out to the movies. That gave me pause. At first, I didn't know what was going on, but then it dawned on me. It was a classic movie. The rich guys must have bet that one of them would be able to make the tomboy fall for them. Yeah, right. I'd watched movies like that. I wanted to tell him, get lost, pretty boy. I'm not interested. But then I thought, why not play their game? I would let them think they fooled me, then put them in their place. I agreed to go to the movies with Alan. To be honest, it was strange. We were sitting next to each other. Alan made jokes and even made me laugh a couple of times. I caught myself thinking that it kind of felt nice. He was really trying, but then I got a grip and told myself, stop, don't fall for it, Lena. It's all part of their stupid bet. After watching the movie, I came back home and it immediately hit me like an electric shock. The garage was open, but it was empty inside. Dad's old car was gone, the one he and I were going to fix together. Dad, where's the Mustang?
I sold it. It couldn't be fixed anyway. It was just taking up space.
I was shocked, speechless. Dad was definitely hiding something. He wouldn't have sold our car without a reason. The next day at school, I was already in a lousy mood when Alan came up to me. He smiled and suggested we go somewhere together. I was about to blow up on him, but then I thought, asking me out on a date? Be careful what you wish for. Okay, let's go out tonight, but you must do as I say. We'll meet by the school. He had no idea what he was in for. When I left school after classes, Bruce, Alan's friend, came up to me.
Lena, about Alan, be careful. He's not being honest with you. You deserve better.
He laughed, looking like he said something profound. I stood there and thought, oh, I see. You just want him to lose the bet. Did you really think I'd fall for it? Huh, as if. I'll beat you all. That evening, I came to school on my bike. Alan was already waiting for me. Put it on and hop on. He was a little stunned, but got on my bike. I hit the gas. The wind, the roar of the engine, the road ahead, it all made me feel free, and I loved it. I could feel Alan holding on to me from behind, and for some reason, it felt good. But I mentally slapped myself. Hey, quit it! Don't be fooled. Remember about the bet. When we stopped, he looked like he'd been on a survive or die ride. It seemed he wanted to say something, but changed his mind. In the end, he just smiled and left. I was left standing there, feeling this stupid warmth inside. When I got home, I put the bike into the garage, and then suddenly saw Vincent, another of Alan's friends. He smiled like a moron and said,
Lena, I'm head over heels in love with you. Go on a date with me.
I almost burst out laughing. Seriously? All three of them? It was clear to me. They must have bet on something serious. Maybe a car or something. And then it clicked in my head. You want to play with me? Great. We'll play, but by my rules. Okay, Vincent, why not? Let's do that. He jumped with joy, and I just thought, you guys have no idea what you're getting into. That weekend, I was getting ready to go hunting with my dad as usual, but then he came into my room.
Lena, there will be no hunting today.
Why?
We need to save up money. We'll have to tighten our belts a bit.
Save up money? Something was definitely going on. Thoughts were spinning in my head like in a washing machine. But I had no time to deal with that because I had a date with Vincent the next day. He met me by the school, smiling from ear to ear. It looked like he'd used a ton of gel in his hair.
Let's go. I've prepared a surprise for you.
He took me to an amazing restaurant. I sat there feeling like a mechanic at a ball. Vincent ordered a ton of food without even looking at the prices and started bragging about how special he was. He talked about his trips, friends, branded clothing. I almost fell asleep. As he talked, I couldn't help but think, what does he want from me? What's all this for? I decided to get him to talk, but I had to be careful. Listen, Vince, why did you suddenly decide to ask me out? I'm not exactly your type.
Well, you're special. You're not like everyone else.
Yeah, sure. How original. Come on, seriously. You've got a dozen girls pinning for you. Why me? He fidgeted, hesitated, and was clearly nervous. I realized I was close to hearing the truth and hoped he would take the bait. Okay, how about this? If you tell me why you asked me out, I'll kiss you. His eyes lit up like the headlights on my bike. He was ready to spill everything. But then, bam. All of a sudden, someone spilled soup over Vincent.
Oh, dang it. I'm all wet.
Bruce was standing next to us. What are you doing?
I'll explain later. Let's get out of here.
While Vincent ran to the bathroom to clean himself up, Bruce dragged me out of the restaurant. Once we were outside, he finally relaxed.
Lena, listen. I need to tell you something. Vincent and Alan made a bet.
What?
It was about you. Whoever gets a kiss from you first wins.
And what will the winner get?
$1.
It felt like I'd received an electric shock. Wait, they bet on that? And the prize was only $1?
I tried to talk them out of it. I said it was mean, but they just laughed and shook hands. That's why I intervened. It's disgusting.
It made my blood boil. My heart was pounding and my fists were shaking. Thank you, Bruce. Seriously, thanks for telling me. I hugged him. It was a bit awkward, but I wanted to show I meant it. The next day, I came to school in a do not approach mood. Guess you didn't get the hint. Alan.
This is for you.
It was a new motorcycle helmet, black with a flame pattern on it.
I've seen how much you love your bike. I thought you'd like it.
I was about to tell him everything I thought of him, but then Bruce came out of nowhere and pushed Alan away.
She knows everything. I've told her the truth.
Alan froze, and the smile slipped off his face. He turned around and left without a word. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, Vincent came up to me.
Hey, let's go on a date. Vincent, it's over. She knows everything. Oh, well, okay.
Thank you for your help.
No problem, Lena. Anytime.
Wait, do you want me to give you a ride on my bike?
Sure, why not?
He came to my house that evening. I introduced him to my parents, and everything was going fine. I'll grab the keys. Give me a sec. I went to my room, changed my clothes, came out, and froze. Dad was standing by the door saying something to Bruce and handing him a package. What was that about? What was going on? I wanted to ask, but then stopped myself. It's none of my business. I shouldn't spy on them. We got on my bike and we're off. I brought him to a street race so he'd experience a real adrenaline rush. But for some reason, Bruce suddenly changed. He stayed silent and didn't joke around anymore.
Sorry, I gotta go. I've got things to do.
What the hell was up with those guys? The next day at school, I saw Bruce and waved at him, but he pretended not to see me. What was wrong with him? Later, I saw Alan and Bruce fighting by the gym.
How could you? Hey, what are you doing? Is this like a fight?
I figured it was probably because of what happened the day before. After school, Alan caught up with me.
Lena, I'm sorry. I didn't want things to end like this. Bruce is a bastard. You didn't deserve all that.
Are you any better? You and your friend used me for a bet, and you bet $1 lousy.
What? What are you talking about?
Bruce told me everything. You and Vincent bet on who would get a kiss from me first.
What?
Drop the act.
That bastard. He made it up. It wasn't a bet. It was a deal.
What deal?
Your parents cornered the three of us after school one day. Me, Bruce, and Vincent.
What?
They offered us a deal. If one of us starts dating their daughter, they will pay us a lot of money.
No, this is nonsense.
I wish it was, Lena, but it's true.
I was lost in thought as I walked home. As I mechanically moved my legs, memories from the last few weeks kept flashing through my head. Dad saying he sold the car, Mom suddenly saving on food, Dad handing Bruce a package. Yeah, it all made sense now. Mom! Dad, what the heck? Lena, calm down. We can explain. Explain? Did you really pay Bruce to date me?
We just wanted you to be, well, more feminine.
I couldn't believe my ears. What? You've always been tinkering with cars, hunting, wearing boys' clothes. We were afraid you would forget that you were a girl. We thought if you got a boyfriend, you'd change. Are you out of your mind? You thought buying me a boyfriend was a good idea?
We wanted the best from you. We saw how lonely you were.
I'm not lonely. I live the way I want, and I'm happy with who I am. Mom tried to say something, but I didn't care anymore. I went to my room and slammed the door shut. All I wanted was to disappear. I sat on my bed, stared at the wall, and thought about everything. Our car was no longer there. My parents sold it to pay Bruce. Bruce left after getting the money, and the most annoying thing was that I'd really thought he was a good guy. why. But Alan, I kept thinking about his smile, remembering the moment he gave me his helmet, how worried he was. He had been honest with me. When I thought about him, I felt warmth spreading inside. I really felt something for him, but I was afraid to admit it to myself. When I came to school the next day, everything went back to normal. The noise at recess, students throwing papers at each other and chatting. I felt miserable. The whole world had turned gray. At recess, I went to the school backyard to be alone and ran into Alan. He was sitting on a bench, lost in thought.
Hi.
We got to talking. At first, it was just about school, but then I opened up. I told him how much I loved tinkering with engines, hunting with my dad, about Mom trying to turn me into a lady.
You know, Lena, I really like that you're so real.
Don't tell me you want to date me to get paid by my parents.
No, I'd love to date you for free.
I laughed, but deep inside, I felt relieved. We started to spend more time together, not as a rich guy in a tomboy cliche way, but just as ourselves. It was different from everything I'd known. Alan wasn't ashamed of me because I could fix engines, and he didn't laugh when I wore oil-stained jackets. He even helped me change the spark plug once.
It was the most romantic date of my life.
One day, when we were sitting on a bench after school, he admitted something.
You know, when your parents first approached us with that stupid idea, I only said yes because I was curious. I was wondering who you were. Everyone was talking about you. But after that ride on your motorcycle, I realized that it was not a joke. I really liked you.
I almost burst into tears, not from sadness, but from feeling something real for the first time. A couple of days after that, I ran into Bruce outside the school. Bruce, listen, I don't get one thing. You didn't need that money. Why did you even do all that?
It wasn't about the money. I'm just a bastard who likes to have fun, and I get away with everything.
He said it calmly, without a morsel of guilt. Then he turned around, took a step, and pop. Stepped right into a pile of dog poop. I couldn't help but laugh. Several of our classmates were standing nearby. They also saw everything and lost it. Bruce turned red as a tomato and ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. Karma will catch up with him. I'm sure of it. I will never forget what happened next. One evening, I was sitting in my room and scrolling through my phone when I heard a noise outside. I looked out the window and couldn't believe my eyes. There was a tow truck in front of our house, and on it was our vintage car, the one Dad sold. I ran outside and saw Alan. He was smiling a bit, shyly. How?
I found it. It took some bargaining, but now it's yours again.
I couldn't help but hug him, really tight. I didn't even know what to say.
I told you that I like the real you.
A lot has changed since then. I'm still the same Lena. I still love engines, hunting, and the smell of gasoline. But with Alan, I suddenly felt like I wanted to change a bit. Not because someone made me. It was my choice. Sometimes I put on a dress, and my mom almost cries with happiness. Dad laughs and says I'm a real lady with a wrench now. On weekends, the three of us, Dad and Alan and I, go hunting. Except now, I don't feel like a tomboy. I just feel like myself. And do you know what I think about all this? No one has the right to buy your life, love, or personality. Being yourself is not a mistake. Those who really love you will never try to change you.